Hello, Baking 101. Happy Monday night. Happy Black History Month. Did you all watch the Super Bowl last night? It was amazing. All of the imagery, all of the symbolism. It was awesome. Truly, truly enjoyed it. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Do you all have your mise en place ready? I forgot that I said we would have our mise en place ready for today, so I was trying to hurry up and get mine done right now. So I'm still working on it. So if you don't have yours ready, you can go ahead and get started. If you do have yours ready, then just put ready in the chat so I'll know. Some of us are doing what I'm doing and some of us aren't. All right, I'm really excited for tonight to make these muffins. I know they're gonna come out so yummy. So I'm excited to do this. And I have my little notes right here in front of me. So ready, ready, ready. I'm seeing a bunch of readies. Awesome. Love that. Okay, so those of you who are ready, go ahead and put your hair up. Let's turn our ovens onto 400 tonight, and then get your sink prepared. So I'm getting my oven on to 400. Okay, so oven's going to 400. Most of the time when you bake, it's gonna be at 350. But for this particular one, for the muffins, we want them to puff really high, so we're elevating the heat. That's why we're putting our ovens to 400. This is my first time in class. Well, welcome, Angela. I just started following today. I'll catch the next round. Absolutely, just be a fly on the wall. Do me a favor, just start tapping the screen, build our likes up while you're a fly on the wall in the class tonight. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and wash my hands again, even though I did already. If you have not washed your berries, go ahead and get your berries washed. That way they can start draining so they're not wet when we get to the point to where we're going to put them into our batter. Okay, that's super hot. Remember, you're gonna put your water as hot as you can stand it. Hopefully you have an antibacterial dishwashing liquid, but if not, putting your water to as hot as you can stand it will help to kill the germs as well. Okay. Mine is building really fast. All right. And I've got my berries draining back there. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on my mise en place. Like I said, so will you. And so what that means is you're gonna take your ingredient list, put everything in a bowl so that it's ready once we start building the batter, okay? This recipe calls for ½ a cup of melted butter. So make sure that you have that done. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine right here. Remember, one stick is ½ a cup. And I'm gonna put mine in a bowl. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get it started so that who is that? I am the fifth element. Hello, what are you making? We're making blueberry muffins tonight. So go ahead and melt your butter if it's not melted already. Okay, and I'm just doing mine in 30-second intervals. That's always the best way to go so that you're not burning anything. All right, and so in honor of Black History Month, I want to come on here and give you guys some information as far as, you know, inventors and such that we can learn about, who are typically people that maybe we didn't learn in school or you don't hear about every day. And whoop, don't want to spill those eggs. And because we are are baking, I wanted to, you know, use professionals that are doing what we do as well. So last week, if you can remember who we learned about last week, go ahead and put that person's name in the chat. And now we have a new person that we're gonna learn tonight, and that is Alfred Cralle. Alfred Cralle, such a handsome gentleman. So Alfred Cralle, he was born in the late 1800s. He worked at a hotel and a pharmacy. And in his time working in the hotel, he was watching the servers and saw that during dessert service, they were having a difficult time plating ice cream and getting it off the spoon. All right, I see her name coming in there. Simply Sherry, great job. So he saw that the servers were having a difficult time plating ice cream. So he came up with a brilliant idea to invent, what do we think he invented? And I had it right here. I do this all the time, you guys. Oh, here it is. Ta-da! He invented the ice cream scooper. So his invention of the ice cream scooper really revolutionized the way that we serve ice cream. So not only did he make it more functional, because he created, you know, this little cup with the lever in there that moves for the ice cream to scoop itself out. It also became a tool that they also use for presentation. So as opposed to, you know, the ice cream looking kind of funky, the fact that they can scoop a really nice dome on ice cream really came into play for presentation. And also in the late 1800s, when he did invent the ice cream scooper, he got a patent for it, and that sparked a lot of Black inventors to patent their products. So he actually also was a part of starting the patenting movement for our Black entrepreneurs. So that's pretty cool. So Alfred is going to be a part of our class tonight. And so part of your homework will be to study a little bit further about Alfred. Alfred's going up there with Anna. All right, so just a quick go over on our mise en place. We're jumping right into it. So 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of melted butter, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, make sure it's a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 2 cups of your fresh blueberries. Put go in the chat if you have all of that ready to go. All right. So there's my melted butter. See what 30 seconds will do? You really just got to start low. Remember that in baking, you cannot subtract, right? So when you're building your batter, always start on the low end, because you're not going to be able to take things out. And then, you know, stuff like this, when it comes to heating, when it comes to baking, I see those readies coming up. Thank you. Double tap the screen. You want to start low on time as well, and just do small increments and build up, because once you burn something, that's it, right? And you can't go back. All right, so like I said, I started my mise en place. I got my flour right here. I'll start working on the sugar and stuff. But since it looks like most of you do have your mise en place together, I'll just go ahead and start building in the bowls. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into instructions and start building from there. So number 1, preheat your oven to 400 degrees and prepare your cupcake liners. Put liners in the chat if you already have your liners prepared. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine really quick. So I've got my cupcake pans here, and I've got some cute little Valentine ones. Can I substitute the buttermilk with milk? Yes, you can substitute the buttermilk with milk, but just to let you know, buttermilk has a higher fat content typically. I don't know if you're using whole milk, skim milk, 1%, 3%. Are you using soy milk? What type of milk are you using? Oh, good. The liners are coming up. Look at these guys. Valentine's, so cute, right? So yeah, so you can substitute, but if you do substitute the milk, you're gonna want to make sure that is whole milk. Whole milk, she's using 2%. Okay, so when using the 2% milk for Glitter Me Timbra, when it comes to your flavor profile, it's probably going to be a little bit tangy. So once you make your muffins, just let me know, okay? And then for the future, you do want to use buttermilk, but if not, use the whole milk with the more fat content. Somebody's using oat milk. Okay, whoever's using oat milk, once we get to the end, let's see, who's the name on that? Deja, the creative spirit. Once we get to building our batter, if your batter is not clumpy, because oatmeal is very low on the fat, so if your batter is not as clumpy as ours when it comes out, then you're probably gonna have to build a little bit more with your flour. And remember, start small. So if that happens, I got mini liners on accident. Oh, it's okay. Okay, Laoncia, if you got mini liners, if you just have your regular pan like this, just go ahead like I do, just like wipe them out really good. If you have a pan spray, just go ahead and spray it. If not, you can season it with butter. So use your pastry brush, get some butter, season it all around with butter. Do like a pinch of flour in each one. And then you'll be good to go. And then you'll just have to be really careful when we start pulling them out, pulling them out of here. So I'm just gonna do 2. I've got another little style of Valentine's here. It's Valentine's week. Are you ladies and gentlemen excited for that? Okay. And then just going back to whoever said they have oat milk, yours, okay. I'm seeing oat milks, almond milks, 2%. So all of those milks, ladies and gentlemen, are very low in the fat content. So whenever you're substituting from a buttermilk, it's gonna change the flavor for sure in your recipe. Like when you make breads and cakes, you want it to have a really high fat content so that it's really nice and buttery once you bake it and bite into it. Once you flip over to those other milks, it's gonna be really tangy and you're not gonna get that same like buttery flavor. So just, remember that, hold that thought for when we get to that spot. And then you can let me know here in the comments. And then if we don't get to it, then you can let us know in the email and we'll walk you through it that way. All right, so preheat oven. Number 2, in your medium bowl, sift flour, sugar, baking powder, and kosher salt. All right, so I've got my medium bowl, got my sifter. So flour, my 2 cups of flour. Okay, sugar, my 1 cup of granulated sugar. I think I put a spoon in already, yeah. I'll let you know how it goes when I get off. Okay. Oh, not sugar. Sorry, don't put sugar. Am I putting sugar in here? Did I write that wrong? No, sugar. Sugar. 1 cup of sugar. Most of my recipes, I separate the sugar for the creaming, but for this particular one, we're doing it separate. I got scared there for a second. Does it have to be kosher salt? No, it doesn't have to be kosher salt. It can be table salt, but kosher salt, the grains are larger and more coarse, and that brings out the flavor profile a lot better when you bake. So that's my suggestion, but if you have table salt, that's perfectly fine. And if you are using kosher salt, make sure you sift really good because you also want to make sure that you're incorporating it properly into your recipe. Okay, so baking powder, 2 teaspoons. I've got baking soda right here. That's some kosher salt right there. All right, baking powder, 2 teaspoons. Are we all together now? Okay, and baking powder, the P. What does the baking powder do? We learned that last week. Somebody let me know. Baking powder, and then our kosher salt is, excuse me, half a teaspoon. Puff, yes, yes, baking powder puffs. All right, and then there's my kosher salt, half a teaspoon. Okay, what? All right, sift that all together. If we make a mess, it's okay, we cleaned it up. Yep, see, look. You can almost guarantee to make a mess, but it's okay. You just clean it up, right? We don't cry over spilled milk over here. All right. So flour, sugar, baking powder, and kosher salt. We got that sifted in there. If you don't have a sifter, you can use your whisk. And I thought I took mine out, but I don't see it. So I'm just going to use my beater right here really quick. So if you're using the whisk method with your whisk, if you don't have a sifter, that's what you're going to do. All right. Next, in our large bowl, we are going to mix our eggs until smooth, okay? So if you are using your stand mixer, I'm going to use my stand mixer today, go ahead and plug it in. Oh, don't plug it in yet. Let's put the attachment on first. Make sure it's off. Get our attachment on there. Okay, great. Plug it in. All right, and then we're going to put our eggs and beat until smooth. And we have 2 eggs for the recipe. Keep double tapping. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate you. Where'd I move the eggs? Because I didn't want to drop them. Oh, they're back here. All right. Am I gonna crack my eggs directly into this bowl? No. Okay. I'm gonna use a separate bowl. Okay. Remember, when it comes to your eggs, never crack them right into what you're making, okay? Because they could be bloody. It could be a little chicken there. You never know. So have something on the side and crack your eggs in first before you put it into what you're going to use. And sorry, I have the tray in front of me. You guys can't see that, but that's pretty simple, right? Cracking the egg, it's clean. We don't have any eggshells in there. So just go ahead and do that into your large bowl. And then if you've got that, go ahead and turn your mixer on low setting first and let that beat until smooth. And I believe I put the note on there. You should have that beater attachment on your mixer. So you should have this guy, the beater. All right, look at that beautiful clean egg. Going in, start low and beat. Put that guy into the sink, lock, start on low. All right, how we doing so far? Haven't mixed it yet, so going to try and get it out. Now, if you have the egg in the bowl already, that's okay. Maybe we missed that point next week. Just remember, when it comes to eggs, I'm going to turn this up a little bit so I can beat a little bit better. When it comes to the eggs, just always crack them in something else because they come out bloody, they come out spoiled. You don't want to crack your shells in there, stuff like that. Okay? All right, so we are beating until smooth. I'm going to turn that up a little bit more. And smooth, you're going to see the egg yolk is completely broken. And it's going to start to look smooth. Oh, wait, uh-oh, I accidentally used a tablespoon for the baking powder. Okay, be careful. Okay, so Deja the Creator. So you use a tablespoon instead of the teaspoon, so you have almost 3 times as much of that puffing agent that you need in there. So just expect that your muffin top is going to be super huge, okay? It's not the worst. If you have enough ingredients and you just want to go ahead and start all over with your dry, you can do that. I'm going to turn my eggs up a little bit more. Then you can, start over. If not, good old whisk and a muscle. That's right. All right, my eggs are looking pretty smooth. How are your eggs looking? I'm going to move these. Okay. So my eggs are smooth. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that down. Next up, we are going to add our butter, our buttermilk, and our vanilla, and whisk. Okay, so for the butter, we had 2 cups of melted butter. Okay, so you should have your 2 cups of melted butter. Go ahead, yeah, whisk, I got you. Go ahead and put your butter in there. Smells nice and yummy already, okay? And then we have our buttermilk, and the buttermilk was 1/2 cup. And are we gonna use a dry measuring cup or the wet measuring cup? Do we remember? Put that in there. What are you making? We are making blueberry muffins. All right, so how much was it? Buttermilk, 1/2 cup. So we're gonna use the liquid measure, okay? When you measure out your buttermilk, you're using this one, not this one, okay? All liquid is gonna go in this one. We're doing 1/2 cup. Just look at that one more time to be sure. Yeah, 1/2 cup of buttermilk. And that's down there. Okay, so 1/2 cup of buttermilk, and get that into your bowl. Okay. And eye level, I'm pretty short, so I don't really have to kneel down, but make sure you look at eye level as well. Okay. Buttermilk, and then last thing, vanilla, and we've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla, so be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful. Make sure you're using teaspoon. Is there any alternative for buttermilk? Yeah, so the alternatives would be whole milk, okay? Whole milk, what I would say would be my suggestion for alternative, because it has a high fat content, okay, like buttermilk. If you look at your buttermilk, it's super thick, okay, almost like pretty shaky. Okay, so I've got all that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna whisk that all together. Okay, are y'all with me? We excited for this? I'm excited. And so you guys remember last week I kept getting flagged, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have all these labels out here. They're like flagging me because I'm showing like food labels and stuff. That wasn't it. You know what it was? It was my shirt. Because my Leah shirt, she was like in a little bralette or something. And I guess that, you know, was looking kind of cray-cray. It's 2 cups of butter. Butter. It's not 2 cups of butter. It's 1/2 cup of butter. Who said that? My recipe has 1/2 cup of butter. Somebody double check that, because I wrote it in my little recipe book. I got 2 cups of butter. Can we confirm that? I'm almost positive, because that would be a lot of butter, you guys. What happens if I just go and try to look? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, 1/2 cup. Okay, so we are, I know, I usually print mine too, and I forgot to print it out, and I didn't have time to print it out, so I'm just using my little book like this, and I believe I have the exact recipe. All right, so we are whisking up in here. Mine looks incorporated really good. I hope yours does as well. So our next step is to add the dry until combined, and the batter will be lumpy. Okay, so remember, you are going to add your dry a little bit at a time. Don't do all of it. Don't do all of it at a time. So you can, you know, just neatly put it in like this. If you want to use one of your measuring cups, you can do that too. Trying not to make so much of a mess, so I'm just doing this in like two rounds. Start low. Once you see it's like grabbing the flour and it's not gonna get you all in the face, then you can turn it up. Okay, mine looks really clumpy, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest. I spilled a little bit. Did you guys spill yours? I spilled a little bit of mine. Okay. Butter, we unpinned that one. We got that one. And buttermilk substitute. Okay. Thank you. All right. Can't wait to see your muffins, ladies. Okay, so remember, start low. So mine is nice and clumpy. I hope yours is as well. Let's just go ahead and get that incorporated. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. That way, whatever's on the inside of the beater will pull itself out of there. I'm just gonna go super high so I know that all of that is out of there. All right, awesome. So that looks really good. I'm gonna show you guys my batter. Does your batter look like that? Let me just bring you off of here for a second. Okay. Can we see that? Looks nice and smooth. Everything's incorporated. Okay. So that's how your batter should look. All right. So we learned creaming, right? And that's when we were mixing together our butter and sugar. And we also learned folding, even though we didn't particularly do it unless you were one of the ones that was adding like nuts and chocolates to your cookies last week. So today we are going to be instruction number 5, folding in our blueberries. And our blueberries are 2 cups, okay? And this is gonna take me a second because mine is still in the strainer. So when you do your blueberries, I'm just gonna put my, you know what, I think I'm gonna need that for later. I'm scared to use that. I'm gonna use another bowl. When you're putting in your blueberries, ladies and gentlemen, you are folding, okay? Don't turn on your mixer. Use your silicone spatula to fold in your blueberries, okay? This smells so good. Does yours smell good? I hope so. Mine smells really good. All right, so I've got 1 cup of blueberries. I'm gonna put them in there, and then I'm gonna use my silicone spatula, and I'm gonna fold, and I'll pull this out. Hopefully that doesn't make too much of a mess. So remember, when you fold, you're just gonna go like that, okay? And blueberries are pretty sensitive, so if you start folding too hard, then they'll start to break apart. But they're gonna do that once they bake anyway, but we use the whisk to fold it in like that so that we can give them a chance to stay whole. Okay, so that's 1 cup. I've got 1 more to go. So you all should have yours in there. Kind of a little bit wet. Okay, 2 cups, cup number 2 going in. Okay, and then we're gonna fold. I'm gonna clean my, oops, getting some blueberries on there. I'm gonna clean my beater off some so I can move this bowl. Okay, everybody with me? All right, so here we are. We've got the blueberries in there. Your batter should be nice and smooth, just like that, okay? And just really be gentle like that when you are folding in your blueberries, okay? This smells amazing. All right, so we've got our blueberries folded in. Next up, we are going to prepare our streusel. So go ahead and put your bowl to the side. I'll just put it back on there, just in case that batter wants to leak a little bit. All right, so we're gonna prepare the streusel. So in a small bowl, you're gonna combine your flour, sugar, 2 sugars, light brown sugar or dark brown sugar, granulated sugar, cinnamon, and kosher salt. Okay, so flour. We are putting 1/2 cup of flour. Got mine right there. In your small bowl, I'm gonna use my medium. I'm gonna use my medium bowl if that's okay with y'all. Okay, so 1/2 cup of flour. All right, and then our sugar, dark brown sugar. I don't know why one I have dark brown and one I have light brown. I think I told you guys dark brown. I think originally I had it at light and I changed it to dark, and I'm gonna tell you why. So when it comes to sugars, there are a few varietals of sugar. So the difference between the light brown and the dark brown is molasses. So molasses is kind of like a syrup. It's very, very sweet. And what it does is it's gonna incorporate the moisture and the chewiness into your batter. So if you have light, awesome. If you have light brown sugar, it's just gonna be a little bit lighter in color, and it's gonna be a little bit less chewy, but it'll still give a nice chew. If you have dark brown sugar that has more of a molasses concentration in it, then it's gonna be a lot chewier. So I wanted you guys to use the dark brown just so you can have some really, really chewy streusels, but if you have the light brown, it's fine. And when you cook it tonight, if you love it like that, you can keep it to the light brown. That's the beauty of scratch cooking, is you're just playing around with everything and you see what fits for you, right? Like I'm giving you guys just like the baseline on these recipes, and then, you know, moving on from it, you can kind of play with it like how we did in your notes for the cookies. So maybe you want it, you know, I saw you guys adding nuts and chocolates and stuff like that. So scratch baking is beautiful because you can add stuff like that. Okay, so 2 tablespoons. So make sure you're using the big one, okay, the tablespoon of your sugar. So there's 1, 2, and then we are using the granulated sugar, and that's also 2 tablespoons. All right. I'm gonna grab 2 tablespoons of that. Granulated sugar is our nice, fine white sugar. Okay, 2 tablespoons of that. And then our cinnamon, that's gonna be 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, make sure you're paying attention to the measurements. Okay, that's a little tiny one. I've got my 1/4. Find my cinnamon here. Does your kitchen smell good? I don't even have this stuff in the oven yet, and it smells so good in here. I just need to grab the ingredients and I'll be baking tomorrow. You got it, and I can't wait to see your pictures once you get it going tomorrow, because we know that's homework, right? I'm sure you guys can assume that already. All right, so 1/4 teaspoon of the cinnamon, and I need to level mine off a little bit. I'm gonna use my hand like that. Okay, cinnamon. All right, and then kosher salt or table salt, whichever one you have, 1/8 teaspoon. And I forgot to grab my 1/8. If you don't have 1/8 teaspoon, you're gonna take your 1/4 teaspoon and just fill it up halfway. Okay, and that's gonna be 1/8. All right, just fill it up halfway. OMG, I'm late. Burnt apples, turn on your oven to 400 degrees. Okay, put your hair up, start your water, and then grab your recipe and get going, okay? And then you can catch up to us. Okay, so 1/8 of the salt. All right, so then once we do that, and you guys notice I do a lot of tapping. Hopefully that's not too annoying. All right, so once we do that, we're gonna combine it. So, where's my fork? I'm gonna use my fork to combine the ingredients. Okay, use my fork like that. You're welcome. You can get going. I'll be baking tomorrow, but I'm in class. Yeah, no problem. So if you're here and you're a fly on the wall, then your job is to double tap. Okay, let me see. We're at 10,000 likes right now. Let's get to 50,000 before class is over. All right. Same here. Love blueberry muffins. Me too. So double tap, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just a fly on the wall. All right. So we just went ahead and combined all of that. And now we are going to cut in our butter. So our butter is how much? 2 tablespoons. So 2 tablespoons of cold butter. So hopefully you still have your butter in the refrigerator because we are using cold butter. And mine just came out the fridge, so it's super cold. I need brown sugar too, yes. And whether you have light brown or dark brown, it doesn't matter. The difference is the molasses content, so the chewiness and the sweetness. If you want it more sweet, more chewy, go to dark brown sugar. If you want it less sweet, less chewy, go to the light brown. Okay, how much of the butter did we say? 2 tablespoons. And if you have one of these like this, they've got the measurement right there on how much you can cut on your butter. Okay, so I'm gonna cut 2 tablespoons on here, which is gonna give me that right there. And if you had your mise en place, then you just had your little ball of cut sugar in there already. All right, so that's my 2 tablespoons. Okay, so now take your fork and start cutting into it, and that's gonna form your streusel. Okay, I'm gonna do like that so you guys can see me doing my cut, and we're just basically getting the butter separated. But you want it cold so that your streusel gets like clumpy. Can I make this on your YouTube? Absolutely. I try my best to load the YouTube on the next day, but sometimes it takes a few hours for it to like upload and stuff. So I try to do it as quickly as possible. And yes, the full class is on there, and you can follow it along and then just follow the directions for homework. Okay? Keep double tapping. We're trying to get to 100,000. No, I think I said 50,000. But if we get to 100,000, that'll be cool. All right. See, my butter is super cold, so just keep on cutting into it like that to make that streusel. And for mine, I kind of feel like I need a little more butter, because to me this seems a little bit dry. I haven't made this recipe in a while. How's your streusel coming out? Okay, does it look like mine? Is it more clumpy or less clumpy? I would like mine to be a little more clumpy. So I'm gonna add another tablespoon of butter. See, fighting the butter, right? Let's fight this butter together. I'm gonna add another tablespoon. And see, that's the beauty of scratch baking, right? Like, we are not at the mercy of this recipe because we are making it. I'm making it earlier and it didn't get as clumpy. I added more butter. Yeah, exactly. See? You just follow your instinct to do, you know, what you need to do to make it work. Some of us last week needed to add more flour, right, for our cookie dough. Some of us needed to put our cookies back in so they could cook a little bit longer, and that's okay. And I don't know about you guys, but it smells so good, right? And I'm fighting mine along with whoever was fighting there. Everything is better with butter. Yes. Okay, so a little bit about myself, you guys. So I managed restaurants for almost 30 years before I started my company. And when I first started working in the restaurant and I, you know, got to see what went on in the kitchen, they use so much butter. You will be surprised how much butter is used in a lot of stuff that we eat. And so I was like, oh my gosh, so much butter. But they have to do that because the flavor. The butter is what gives stuff that yummy, yummy flavor. And so that's why, you know, for me, I shared last week, I use Country Crock is actually a vegetable spread, because then it's, you know, just a little more healthy for your heart. But they use a lot of butter. a lot of butter. My streusel is starting to look really good. I'm more happy with that when I added another tablespoon of butter. Hopefully you all agree. All right, so we're fighting this butter together. I'm just about done. Okay, if you are done, go ahead and bring your cupcake tins over, because we're gonna start scooping. And thanks to Alfred with his ice cream scooper, right? We're scooping. I use Country Crock plant butter too. It has a delicious flavor, absolutely. Okay. Ooh, this looks so good. Hopefully your streusel looks like that, does it? And if it's a little more clumpy, that's good too. I probably would, you know, like it a little more clumpy, but this is good too. All right. So, give myself a little space here so you all can see. I'm putting my streusel in front of me. You do the same, keep it in arm's length. So now we are back. We did our streusel instruction number 6, and now we're under 7. Number 7, fill liners with batter and top each one with your streusel. I'm gonna close my cinnamon right here so I don't make a mess. Fun fact about cinnamon: if you have ants, sprinkle cinnamon around the perimeter of your kitchen, or you can sprinkle it in your cabinets, and that will ward away the ants. Ants hate cinnamon. It's a little tip for y'all. Okay, let's get to scooping. So my scooper, this is 3 tablespoons. I didn't give you guys a specific measurement because, again, if you already had a scooper, that's great. I don't want you guys to have to, you know, spend so much money on stuff being too particular. So I have a 3 tablespoon, but if you have a smaller one than this, then you'll, you know, just use a little bit more. I'm sad I couldn't make it to class tonight, but I'll definitely watch the replay. No problem. Watch the replay. Turn in your homework once you make your blueberry muffins. And for now, just double tap the screen. Get our likes up to 50,000. All right. So I am going to do a quick fold of my batter. Just a little refresher. Wake it up a little bit. This smells so good. Okay, I'm just gonna do a little fold to wake it up a little bit, all right? Your batter better look like this. No, just kidding. Hopefully it looks like this. I'm late, okay? Black Velvet sings, get to it. Put your hair up, put your oven on 400, do your sink, wipe down your countertops, grab out your recipe and get going. You can catch up to us. This is easy, we're almost done. All right, so let's scoop. And hopefully you can see me scooping. I have a habit of kind of using the side of the bowl when I scoop out because I have a heavy hand. So look at that. Make you wanna slap your mama. Okay, go ahead and get that in there. And that's perfect. Okay, so this is 3 tablespoons. So if you have a scooper that's 3 tablespoons, that's perfect. If you have a one that's a little bit smaller, which will usually be the 1 inch, then use that 3 times, okay? So we're basically putting about 3 tablespoons of batter into our liners, okay? And I know the directive says to put the streusel. If you want to do the streusel one at a time, you can, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do all of my scoops first, and then I'm gonna put the streusel on top. I wish we could play music because I would definitely have music going right now. But since we're putting this on YouTube, no music. See, we're learning as we go. Will this recipe work if I replace the blueberries with something else? Yes, so you just wanna make sure that it's something that's a nice solid. Some of you messaged me about chocolate chips. So you can use chocolate chips. It called for 2 cups. That's a perfect transition because the blueberries are just about the same size as a chocolate chip. And in my shop, I would make chocolate chip muffins, blueberry muffins, strawberry, banana, you name it. Okay, I've got 1 pan done. If you just have one, that's fine. Do your streusel. I'm gonna do 2, okay? Because I've got some folks behind the cameras. So I'm gonna do 2. And we have all this batter too. If you don't use all your batter right now, don't forget, just put it into your airtight container, put it in the refrigerator, but then make sure that you bake the rest of it within the next day or 2, okay? Don't go past a couple of days. And this, I would not freeze. We got a lot of questions about freezing last week. You know, I like stuff in the moment, okay? I just like it to be fresh, make it now. So this is not something that I would freeze. And I also wouldn't freeze this recipe because the blueberries, they'll break and they'll start to bleed. And so once you defrost that, your batter is not gonna be this nice, healthy beige color that we have. It's gonna start turning it kind of purplish, which is pretty, but that's not necessarily, you know, what we want. All right, so I think I told you guys 12 muffins, right? And I've got a little bit more, so I'm gonna grab another pan because I'm just gonna cook all of this right now, all of it at the same time. Get my little Valentine's liners in here. Can you use frozen blueberries? Yes, absolutely. You can use frozen blueberries. It looks like I have about 3 left. Yes, you can use frozen blueberries. You can use frozen strawberries, frozen mangoes, frozen, whatever kind of fruit, pineapples. Get creative, okay? Now that you are a scratch baker, you can do whatever you want to do, right? And then you're learning how to, you know, put these agents together, and you're understanding how they work. Okay. All right. Hope we're doing well out there. Okay. So I've got one, and I think I can muster up one more. I'm gonna use my spatula to scrape the sides. Waste not, want not, right? That's what my mom would always say. So I'm gonna get all this stuff scraped off of the side. And the fact that the rest of the side, it just has like batter and no blueberries. I have a few left over. So I'm just gonna pop some of these, try to get the dry ones. Look, I'm just gonna pop them to incorporate into that part of the batter where there wasn't a lot of, there wasn't any blueberries in this part. But I like to scrape it all out. Okay. All right, boom. So does everyone have theirs scooped? Okay, and if you did it like me and you're done with your batter, put this to the side, then go ahead and do your streusel. Now you can do a pinch and use your fingers, or you can use a spoon. I'm just gonna do a pinch and use my fingers. And I did forgot to have us taste it before our blueberries, but this recipe is sure thing, so I'm sure it tastes okay. So I'm just gonna taste it better. Forget what you're saying. Can we freeze the muffins post baking and cooling off? Yes. So, sorry. Once you bake your muffins, if you're gonna freeze them, let them cool off completely, and then put them into a storage bag or a freezable container that's not gonna have, like an airtight, I said freezable, an airtight container that goes in the freezer. Either one of those. If you're using the freezer bags, make sure that they are actual freezer bags, not a storage bag. The thickness, like the millimeters on those bags, is a difference. The actual freezer bags are a little bit thicker. That's gonna protect your food. And they are a little more expensive, but that's something, like when we talk about high-low, that's something that you don't wanna skimp on, okay? So if you are a person that's, you know, freezing now to bake for later, what you're holding it in is very, very important. You don't want the freezer burn. You don't want, okay, yeah, you got the vacuum seal. Okay, that's perfect if you have a vacuum seal. Because you don't want to get the freezer burn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, start with my streusel. Like that. I'm using the pinch method with my fingers. Like I said, you guys can do it like this, or you can use your tasting spoons. I'm so excited for this. It smells so good. And again, we're putting this recipe, can you see that? We're putting this recipe on 400 so that we get a good, nice blast to this batter to puff it up. Plus this streusel has some weight to it. You guys see how I'm doing mine heavy? I have a heavy hand, but I also love the taste. Yeah, so we need the 400 so that it can really blast it and push up this streusel that's got some weight to it. Every time I'm on your live, I learn something new and try to write everything down. Oh, awesome. That's what I'm here for. Y'all, I really love that this is happening right now. So I'm just, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you all, have me and we're learning. And you can, these are recipes that will live on forever and you can pass on to your kiddos, right? And if you're really ambitious, you can get up on a Monday morning and bake some fresh muffins and hand them to your hubbies as they're on their way out. Your kitchens will smell like blueberry muffins in the morning. Is that sugar mix? This is a streusel. And yeah, I guess you can kind of consider it as a sugar mix. We use brown sugar, white sugar, flour, cinnamon, and butter. All right, I think that's good. Okay, looking like that. So we got that done. Next step, number 8, bake for 18 to 22 minutes and set your timer. Be careful. Don't forget, let that first little whoosh of the oven, don't let that get you. All right, setting our timer. And remember, in baking, we can always add, we cannot take away. Good evening, Lexus Diva. So we're gonna start on the low end on 18 minutes. And then if it looks like we need to add more time, then we'll do that. And that's also why you see a range in baking, because ovens vary between the brands. So some, you may have a really, really good fan and that, will blast really good. And other ovens aren't so great. So you need to add the time to it. Can I add oats to the streusel? Yes, you can. Yes, Boucher, add those oats in there and I can't wait to see yours. I do a pumpkin spice muffin and I add oats to that one and it's so good. All right, so I have some extra streusel. So I'm gonna put mine in an airtight container. I have a big one. Let me see if I can find a smaller one. I'm gonna put it in there to save, and then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator because our streusel has butter in it. Sorry for my lateness, getting house tenant and being packing to be out by 7. Okay, no problem. If you're a fly on the wall, just double tap. This will be put on YouTube for you to do when you're ready. I'm just gonna use this one. All right. Okay, I've got 16 minutes left on my timer. Time flies when you're having fun, right? This goes by so fast. And then I get sad. I don't want to let you go. Oh no, I'm prepared with tonight's lesson. Yes. Be prepared. Get your muffins in the oven. All right, Lexus has her muffins in the oven. Go, Lexus. You got your muffins in the oven. Just go ahead, start putting stuff away. Start cleaning up. I've got my little extra streusel in my airtight container that's gonna go in the refrigerator. Gonna put my butter in there. Okay. We are rocking and rolling. Mine are in the oven. I added lemon extract to mine. Oh yeah, it's gonna give it a nice little zing to it. And then you have like a double citrus. You have citrus in your blueberries and you have citrus in your lemon. So those are gonna be really good. Yes, in the oven, why did I talk tonight? Yes, in the oven, washing dishes. Awesome. All right, put my butter away. Okay, so it looks like everyone is rocking and rolling. Okay, so it looks like everyone is rocking and rolling. So just go ahead and start cleaning up, putting stuff away. I have my cooling rack back there that I need to open up and put together. So you can have your cooling racks ready. Oops. My butter's going crazy over here. Okay. And then I'm also gonna grab some tea. I always like have the music on and have a beverage. And I'm drinking iced tea. Just running a little behind because I forgot my mise en place, managed to catch up. Oh, yes, see, that's what I'm saying. I knew you were gonna catch up. Is there a difference between butter or margarine? Yes. So the difference between butter and margarine is the fat content and the consistency. So butter is typically higher in fat and very dense, so it will hold like in a block very well. A margarine doesn't have as high as a fat content and it's more smooth, and you typically can't hold it in a block. A little bit, but not too much. When like a recipe like this, butter or margarine, they always do this to me. They're trying to tell me, are you still there? Butter versus margarine on this one. Really the difference is gonna be like the streusel. So when you're making your streusel, if you're using a margarine, you might have to add a little more of the flour just to get it clumpy. I tend to add lemon to everything I bake, always a good added bonus. Yes, love lemon. Love the citrus. Lemon also is a great natural fruit for breaking down elements in your body. So if you're a heavy water drinker like I am, add some lemon to it, and that's really gonna help break down elements in your body. It's great for your digestive system. Okay, I've got my toothpicks because we're gonna check our muffins. We've got 12 minutes, so clean up. Just gonna start throwing stuff in the sink. Just give me some space over here. I'm just looking to make sure, like, am I gonna need something for later? Okay, we're also doing chocolate covered strawberries tonight, so if you didn't do it earlier, go ahead and wash your strawberries, strain them, because we want them to be dry. Let me get a different pan. Okay. If you have your strawberries washed and drained already, go ahead and get a baking sheet, and then you're gonna put a paper towel onto your sheet, okay? Not parchment paper, not wax paper. Muffins in the oven, all right? La Auntia, perfect. Ooh, I got strawberries, boom. So baking sheet, mine's got a little bit of flour, because remember I was getting a little crazy earlier. So I have a little flour on my sheet. So strawberries, baking sheet, paper towel. sure if I put paper towel on your materials list, but I didn't really think that I needed to. Okay, so paper towel, put your strawberries on there. And we're gonna dip these. So as you know, the strawberries just come out very random. You wanna pick the ones that have the best shape, that are very firm and not bruised, okay? So I'm just gonna look through mine. That one's kind of funky, so I'm not gonna use that. Yeah, that one looks pretty good. So just get the ones that look the best, that are firm and don't have so much bruising on them. That one's got a lot of bruising. That one's okay. Are we getting our strawberries together? Okay, I've got 10 minutes on my timer. Okay. That pack that I got wasn't the best. All right, how many have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. I have 8. That's not so bad. That one's not the cutest, but we're gonna cover it, so I'll use that one too. But this one is pretty firm. That one too. It's not the cutest, but this is all for instructional purposes. Look at that one right there. Look at, they're so cute. The strawberries are married together. So cute. All right, so we'll just leave those to the side. Okay. So you've got your strawberries on, you got your strawberries lined up on your pan. Go ahead and take one more paper towel and pat them dry, okay? And I'm just doing like that, just a little soft squeeze to get them dry, okay? Soft squeeze to get them dry. Okay, so dry all of your strawberries. I'm smelling my muffins. Are you smelling yours? Double tap if you can. If you're smelling the muffins, or double tap if you're a fly on the wall and you want to smell the muffins. That one's got a little bit of bruising, so maybe I'll do that one last. Okay, so double tap them all to get them dry. And on this step, it doesn't, matter how many you have. I just wanted to teach you guys how to dip some strawberries since we've got Valentine's coming up this week. I'm gonna put my sugar over there. How we doing? All right, you should have some dry strawberries. This, I'm just making myself a drink. Where's that scooper? It's gone. The scooper is gone. What can I use? Here's my glass right here. I'm gonna use a mug. No, I need this.
It might be in the dishwasher.
I'll use this. Okay, how are we doing? Cheers. Who's that? Cheers, Sherry. I've got iced tea. What do you have? I'm thirsty. And when you bake, it gets hot, right? So, I'm getting my tea. How are we doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so next step, we are moving on to chocolate covered strawberries, if I didn't say that already, sorry. All right, so we got a pound of strawberries, 12 ounces of candy melt or high quality chocolate, and half a cup of toppings. So, we got your strawberries dried. So now with your candy melts or your high quality chocolate, you're going to melt your chocolate. If you prefer to do the double boiler method, just go ahead and start that. That's kind of like an advanced technique. So I'm not teaching you guys that. If you already know it, great. Otherwise, we're just gonna use the microwave. So, got some chocolate. This is brown chocolate flavor. And when you get this and it's colored, then it's gonna be vanilla. It's gonna be vanilla flavor. But I'm using the brown for the chocolate. All right, so I've got my microwavable mug. I've put my candy melts in there, and you're gonna microwave this in 30-second increments so that you don't burn your chocolate. If you're doing the double boiler method, then just do it. I'm doing the double boiler. Okay. I don't know. I always burn it in the microwave. Okay. So if you want to try the microwave on another day, just 30 seconds at a time. It is very tedious, but you won't burn your chocolate. But if you already know how to use the double boiler method, go for it. I'm setting up my cooling rack because I've got 5 minutes left on my muffins. Okay. I think that's ready. All right. It's ready. I'm gonna put my eggs in the fridge. My muffins look good. I'm excited. You got muffins ready already? Who's that? Kiara. Go, Kiara. She got her muffins ready. Okay. So with your chocolate in 30-second intervals, so see the first 30 seconds, it looks like it didn't do anything, but trust me, it did. So go ahead and stir up your chocolates and then pop it back in there for another 30 seconds, okay? Every 30 seconds, even if it doesn't look like something happened, trust me, it does. Okay, so 30 more seconds, and you're gonna keep doing that until it's nice and smooth. Muffins look good. Okay, I might be calling you up, Kiara. Just waiting for my muffins to come out. They smell good. They definitely smell good. I'm going to unplug my mixer so that I can get everything off of it and get that started for the wash. Okay, try some batter. Tastes really good. See that 30 seconds and it's smoking. Mine smell and look good. All right, Lexus Diva. Can't wait to see. All right, so see that starting to melt. And that 30 seconds was really good. Comment chocolate in the chat if your chocolate is ready. Mine is just about there. I'm just gonna mix it up really good. Oh, I forgot to grab that Crisco. Mine is chocolate is ready. Okay, if your chocolate is ready, I'm still working on mine a little bit, but if your chocolate is ready, go ahead, take your strawberry and grab it by the stem, like carefully by the stem. And then in a vertical position, just go ahead and dip your strawberry into your chocolate. You can kind of roll it like that, bring it up, and you can wiggle it in a circular motion to get the excess chocolate off. And then, oh, we're still on paper towel, just kidding. We need a sheet with our parchment paper or wax paper. Let me do that really quick. Just gonna grab some parchment paper. Okay. Don't put your dipped strawberry on paper towel. put it on the wax paper. Alright, so I got my sheet with the wax paper. Good, I see some chocolates now. So dip it, put it on your parchment or wax paper. Just lay it down gently and then dip them all. And then if you have your toppings, then you're gonna wanna sprinkle on your toppings at that point as well. My chocolate is a little bit clumpy, so I'm just gonna do one and see how it comes out. I really would like it to be a little more runny than that, but I'm gonna keep it right there just like that. All right, so I've got my chocolate, holding it by the stem. Just gonna go gently, straight up and down, wiggle it a little bit. Oh, there's our muffins. Give it a wiggle, bring it out. Okay, and then set it onto the parchment paper. My timer is going off. Okay, carefully taking out the muffins. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys mine for a second. Okay, this was 18 minutes. Look at that. That looks amazing. But I wanted a little more golden, so I'm gonna put mine back in for 2 more minutes. So if you ran into that, then just do the same thing, because remember we can't subtract. So we're gonna build on the time. So I'm gonna go 2 more minutes for my muffins. And then I'm gonna get back to my strawberries. Let me get some sprinkles. It's Valentine, so we have some Valentine sprinkles. Muffins look amazing. What can I add to make the chocolate more smooth? If you have Crisco, put a little bit of Crisco, and I didn't grab mine, but because I feel like I could put a little bit of Crisco in mine. So if you have some Crisco, put a little Crisco in here, and that'll smooth it out. Okay. There's also this stuff called Paramount crystals. And if you're super, super fancy, I'll be surprised if you have Paramount crystals. But if you have some Paramount crystals, then you can add Paramount crystals to your chocolate and that'll do it. You have Paramount crystals, but if you have some Paramount crystals, then you can add Paramount crystals to your chocolate and that'll do it. You have Paramount crystals, but if you have some Paramount crystals, then you can add Paramount crystals to your chocolate and that'll do it. Too. Can't call me right now. All right, I'm gonna use some sprinkles for that one. And I've got some Valentine sprinkle mix. This is my signature mix. I make sprinkles too, I know you guys saw that. All right, so got some Valentines on there. Is it okay to use coconut oil? Good question. Okay, so if you use coconut oil, it is going to change the flavor profile, and depending upon the quality of chocolate you have, it might make it sieve, which means it's kind of gonna break it up. So I would say try it, because that's what we do when we're scratch bakers. We like to experiment. So just take a little bit of your chocolate into a separate container and just grab a tiny bit of at a time, like 1/8 of a teaspoon, okay? Like a really, really tiny bit off in your separate container and see what happens. If it works, great, let us know. If not, go back to your other chocolate. Okay, so my muffins are ready. Who's done with their strawberries? All right, bringing the muffins out. Okay, look at that. You guys see that smoke? All right, so I, again, prefer it to be a little more golden. So I'm gonna put this back in here for another 2 minutes. So I'm at the 22-minute mark. Okay, 2 more minutes for me on my muffins. Yours, 418. Okay, perfect. If it's golden, how you like it, you're good to go. If your if your muffins are done, go ahead and set them to the side to start cooling. Leave them in the pan for 5 minutes, and then you can transfer them to your cooling rack. Okay, let them sit for 5 minutes first before you transfer it over to the cooling rack. Okay, and then get back to your strawberries. And also with the strawberries, if you want to get fancy or a little more fancy, you can use your pastry bag and put some of your chocolate in the pastry bag, and then do just like a literal like that, like back and forth like that. And that'll put a drizzle over your strawberry, and that'll give it a cool little touch to it. I'm not gonna do that right now in class because I want to keep us on time. Who's done? Miss Dia, awesome job. Awesome job. You got your muffins done, you've got your strawberries done, you are good to go. Okay, so my chocolate is a little bit clumpy, but ooh, my wax paper is moving. All right, so I'll show you that. So see how that's a little bit clumpy? If I had some more Crisco, I would just add a little bit of Crisco to that. I'm trying to show you the texture. So I would add a little bit of Crisco to that so that it makes the chocolate like super, super smooth. Bottoms are golden, but the lights are still super light. Add 2 add 2 minutes. Yeah, just add 2 minutes. I did drizzle and sprinkles. I can't wait to see yours. So see, I've got my sprinkles on there. Happy Valentine's Day. That one, you can do a little cute drizzle. You have different colors. I brought a white. I have a huge bag of white. But for Valentine's, do reds, do pinks, do whites, do purples. Got a little experimental, added coffee concentrate to the chocolate. Okay, let me know how did that come out for you. I did drizzle and sprinkles and done. Boom, awesome. So let me turn that off and grab my muffins. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So perfect for me. So that's 22 minutes. All right, if your muffins are done, make sure you turn your ovens off. Okay, that's pan number 2. Pan number 3. Can you smell it? Okay, so I turned my oven off. Muffins are gonna cool for 5 minutes. It smells amazing in here. I've got 3 strawberries done, but you guys see how simple that is. That's simple, simple little thing you can add, to your Valentine's this week, or just something like cool for your kids. You know how it's like, some kids, they just want chocolates, they just want candies or whatever. So, we meet them in the middle, dip them with chocolate, and they're getting their fruits, which we want them to have their fruits, and then they get a little bit of chocolate, and it's a win-win. Are you using chocolate chips or chocolate melts, or is it all the same? No, it's not all the same. Where'd I put mine? I just lose everything. So I use candy melts, because just in like my professional life, like these are formulated to do in mass quantities and do it very quickly. So I really love this Sweet Shop brand. They're made very well, and you can do it in mass quantities. So this is formulated to just go ahead, you know, pop it, cool it really quick, dip and go. If you're gonna use a regular chocolate, you just want it to be a higher quality. So on that high-low, you need to have a higher quality. I also brought some, I almost forgot. I brought some pretzels. You can dip some pretzels too. So this cup is pretty tall, but I don't have it all the way full. But I'm just gonna do this a little bit. But you can also do pretzels. Who loves sweet and salty? Sweet and salty flavor is like heaven. So you can also do that too. So these are rods. I just got some rods, but you can do, you know, those little circle ones. You can do those ones that look little grids. I hope my muffins come out pretty like that. They will. Are you using chocolate? I answered that one. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, highly flavored. So I would just fill this cup all the way up, so that when I dip the pretzel in there, it can go a little bit higher. Or if you have a taller glass like this, not actual glass though, you want this ceramic heat protected material. But if you have something like this and, you know, get that pretzel in there, then you can get the whole thing. And I have like special cups for that, but I didn't bring that. Yes, I love salty sweet, right? So you can dip pretzels, you can dip apples. Again, you know, the strawberries is just cute for Valentine's Day, but you can do apples, you can do cookies, you can dip your cookies. But this is just, you know, just another little step that you can take to elevate your treats. Okay, so I got my, look at that, look how cute. I got my Valentine sprinkles all on my pretzel. Crushed almonds to the chocolate. Okay, I wouldn't put the almonds inside the chocolate. I would dip, whatever you're dipping, dip it in the chocolate and then add the almonds later. Because once you're continuing to have to heat your chocolate, the nuts or whatever else you put in there is going to change the way that it heats, and then that product, that element is going to burn. Okay, so if you're adding something to it, do it on the after. Okay, all right, so we've got muffins, we've got strawberries, so look at that. All right, so I can't wait to see. So then your next instruction is you're going to plate on your pretty plate. Make a picture. Yes, man, add in them as sprinkles. Yes, exactly. So add your nuts later. So plate, get your pretty plate. Plate your muffins if you've already have them on your cooling rack. And then take a picture and then eat it. But make sure you get your picture. Make sure that you get your picture because that's your homework, okay? So homework tonight, plate presentation with your blueberry muffins. And then you can eat them afterwards. But make sure you get that picture first. What brand of white chocolate do you recommend? I plan on making white and milk chocolate. Okay, so when it comes to white on the chocolate, it never melts the same as any other component. Okay. And I don't know why that is. I really haven't researched it. But so here's this company called Muffins. And I think I have this on my Amazon, or I'll put it, if you guys like have the Amazon list, I'll add this to it. Or if you go to my Amazon storefront, I have like a baker's list, and then I have a Hillman Talk list. It's definitely on the baker's list. I'll add this over to the Hillman Talk one. It's called Muffins. They do the best in white, but I showed you this other company, Sweet Shop. They do good in white as well, but you want to make sure that you use a good quality. Wilton has one too, but to be honest, to me personally, that's like on the lower end of the melts. So I use the Sweet Shop or the Mergens. All right, so homework is presenting your muffins on your pretty plate. And take a picture, send it to me. I'm gonna put mine out like that. This smells so good. I probably could put a little bit more batter. I have brought the toothpicks out. I didn't need to use mine, but these you can really tell. Like the streusel is gonna let you know when they're ready. I can finally something without an oven. Oh, is that the strawberries? You can make those strawberries without the oven. This smells so good, you guys. Can't wait to see yours. And if you did have like an actual muffin pan that they're like huge, I want to see those too. Can't wait to see those. How that came out. Look at that. Muffins look so good. Yes, it's gonna taste good too. Did we get to 50,000? 43.3. We're almost there. We have 4 minutes. All right, so I'm just getting all of mine onto here. And then the last part of your homework is to research Alfred Cralle. See him over my shoulder right there. Do your research on Alfred, okay? We want to add knowledge to ourselves too, right? Knowledge is power. So learn about Alfred. We used scoopers tonight, thanks to Alfred. Even though he invented the ice cream scooper, all of that is in that same family, right? Alfred Cralle. Thanks, babe. This smells good. Okay, and then your strawberries do the same, okay? Plate your strawberries really pretty. And take a picture and send me that as well. I've got my little notes here. And let me just see what we've got going on. Okay, so blueberry muffins, picture, send to Mercy. Chocolate covered strawberries, picture, send to Mercy. And then for extra credit, you already know how to make sugar cookies now. So if you want to go ahead and make some cute Valentine sugar cookies for your loved ones for Valentine's Day, go ahead and do that. And that's up to you if you want to send a picture, you know, to me or not. Of course, I welcome to see it because I love to see your growth. But that's like for extra credit. You don't have to do that. But I just kind of wanted you to, you know, get some confidence with that cookie recipe so you can, you know, continue to use it. And like I said, that's something you'll be passing down to your kiddos. What about pretzels instead of strawberries? Yeah, if you use pretzels, then do your pretzels and then take a picture and send it to me. Where can I watch this? This is going to be on YouTube, full class on YouTube tomorrow. Where's my plate? Okay, and then also remember, in plating, people eat with their eyes, right? So we want everything to be pretty. So look at your muffins, see what's the prettiest. That's what you want to build in the front, right? And then the not so pretty stuff, you can build it towards the back, but I know all of your stuff is going to look great. And also in presentation, you know, doing things in threes, doing in odd numbers helps with the presentation as well. So you can start one in the center and then build off from there. My little cups are different colors, so I'm just like alternating that too, if I can. Can we see that? You're welcome, sunflower. 50K, boom, we made it. Oh, thanks guys, I appreciate it. Okay, so look at that. So that's 7, okay? That's the trick, building odd numbers, okay? So your plate's gonna look like that when you send it to me, right? Okay, 7:30 on the dot. We made it, class is over. Or I'll just hold on to this. So, yep, can't wait to see it. You're welcome, Maury, you're welcome. I can't see the names. Deja, Creative Spirit, Lexith, how long do the strawberries sit? The strawberries, you can sit them for like 10 minutes and they should harden. You can also, I think I put a directive on there, you can pop them into the refrigerator for like 10 or 15 minutes and that'll set them as well. And for storage, I did put the tip on there for you guys, but if you are doing the strawberries, do it the day of, okay? When you make this chocolate covered strawberries the day before and you're gonna have to put them in the refrigerator, the temperature in the refrigerator is gonna start manipulating the chocolate, okay? So the strawberries will start separating from them. They'll start to sweat, which means they'll get wet and it'll just be a mess. So make sure that you're doing your strawberries the day of. Take my word for it. This is my first class. I missed the sugar cookie lesson. You didn't miss it. It's on YouTube. So go on my YouTube week 2 and you'll get the class for the sugar cookies here on TikTok in my, oh, look at Esmeralda's muffins. Yes, put a go Esmeralda in the chat. She turned in her muffins. So on TikTok, in my bio, there's a bio site that will push you to the link to get the syllabus, the recipes in the syllabus. And as you guys know, I release the recipes every week with class. Oh, I almost forgot. There is no class next week, but you guys should see that in your syllabus. We don't have class next week. I think it's like President's Day or something. So I'll push you the reminder on the email. Have a great week. Continue to learn and grow your knowledge for our ancestors, our pioneering entrepreneurs in this Black History Month and beyond. Again, another, nod to Kendrick Lamar, who just killed it with the imagery, with the messaging, all of that last night. He really represented us so well. I was so proud. And